My name is Christopher Atito. Now let's settle for the details. And the Ghana Statistical Service has released the provisional real gross domestic product (GDP) for the first quarter of 2022. According to the government statistician Professor Kobinna Annim, the provisional GDP growth for the first quarter stood at 3.3% compared to the same period in 2021 that saw a growth rate of 3.6%. This, he says, shows a slowdown of a 0.3 growth.
From a non-oil perspective, in the first quarter of 2021, we recorded 101,105.1 million Ghana cedis, and this has also increased by about 20,000 million Ghana cedis relative to the first quarter of 2022, where we recorded 131,025.2 million Ghana cedis for the first quarter of 2022. In real terms, that is discounting the effect of price changes over the period. For the same period last year, that is the first quarter of 2021, from an oil perspective, we recorded 45,330.2 million Ghana cedis, and now it's increased for the first quarter of 2022 to 46,833.9 million Ghana cedis, indicating a 1.5 billion Ghana cedis change over this one-year period. That is the first quarter of 2021 relative to the first quarter of 2022. From a non-oil perspective, in 2021, for the first quarter, we recorded 42,483.2 million Ghana cedis, and this has increased by about 2 billion Ghana cedis, where we recorded 44,044.3 million Ghana cedis for the first quarter of 2022. This culminates in a growth rate of 3.3 for the first quarter of 2022 relative to the 3.6 that was recorded for the same period 2021, indicating a 0.3 percentage point reduction over this one-year period. So there has been a slowdown in our growth rate relative to the first quarter of 2021. In nominal terms, this corresponds to, from a non-oil perspective, the growth rate was 3.7 for the first quarter of 2021 relative to the 5.3 that was recorded for the same period 2021. We look at this from the perspectives of trend, that is real GDP, and as was indicated earlier, the real GDP for the first quarter of 2022 grew by 3.3%, and this is less than half what we saw in the last quarter of 2021. In the last quarter of 2021, we did record a 7.0 oil GDP growth rate, and now we are recording a 3.3 oil GDP growth rate for the first quarter of 2022. From a non-oil perspective, we recorded 3.7% for the first quarter of 2022 relative to the 7.6% that we recorded for the last quarter of 2021. If you look at this from the perspective of the first quarter of 2021, these are the lowest growth rates that we've recorded, discounting the contractions that we recorded during the COVID-19 era. So since the economy rebounds in 2022 quarter 4, these are the lowest growth rates that we've recorded over this time period.